guys, so today we're going to talk about expanding your blog post using SEO Assist. One of the things that I see in a lot of audits and just a lot of the content that I review for clients and things is that it's just too short. Google really wants you to do, well, technically they want you to do like 1,600 words, but at least an acceptable length is about 700 to 1,000 words, depending on your audience and a few other factors. But sometimes we don't even make that. So we created a new flow in SEO Assist to help to expand on whatever topic, ideas, language that you've already created and make them into a larger blog post that is much more acceptable for search engines and Google, and just gives your content more information and context. So I've got two different examples here, one that's really, really short and one that's a little bit longer, and I am going to show you guys how to expand your blog post with SEO Assist. First, this one right here that I've got highlighted for us is only 100 words. I'm going to show it to you right here, word count, right? Only 100 words. And so we are going to make this into a full 800 word blog post. So we're going to start here on the dashboard like we usually do. And for this particular flow, we are going to go into write a new blog post. And then from write a new blog post, we'll go under step 2, which is our blog post types. And you'll see a new one here, which is expand on existing blog post or text. Now, you may not have already published this blog post. You may already just maybe like typed up some notes. I'm forever typing up notes in my Evernote, or I had a couple ideas. This is very similar to our repurpose your social post into a blog. So it follows a lot of the same logic, but this one was specifically for if you've already started creating something and you just need to make it bigger. It was actually inspired by the social one because so many people were loving the idea, and I'll make sure I put the social post flow in a link to that in the comments as well. But so many people were loving the idea of taking their social posts and making them blog posts that the next logical step was, how about my blog posts that just aren't long enough, or I just need more to that post? How do I do that? So we created the expand your blog post flow. So similar to all of our flows, we're just going to copy in some information here. Who is the audience? This one is aspiring artist. And what are the keywords? You can choose to have one or not. And so I'm not going to do a keyword for this particular post. And then most importantly, what is your call to action? It's one of the big differences from the social post to this one is that this one asks you for your call to action. The social one actually picks it up within your post if it's already there. Now, I will suggest if you have a specific name for your call to action, you want to put that in quotes so that it understands that that is a name that should not be changed or anything like that. And it'll incorporate it very nicely. So once we enter our information, literally only those 4 or 5 questions that we entered, once we enter our information, then you can come and, let it process, and we will show you the results. So you can see here, we've got our completed blog post all done. So here's our blog post, and it definitely made a lot out of those 100 words. We're going to do the little count your words test going on here. Just going to copy it and throw it over here so you guys can see just how long it made it. And then we'll talk about the actual content of what it did. So I'm going to copy that in. So you can see here, now we have 815 words out of our little 100 words that we gave it. And so if you read a little bit more in the details, this smaller post was about the 6 different skin tones, and it opened up talking about the array of beautiful people and different, ethnicities. And this is an artist blog, just for those who are listening. So we talked about the different skin tones and colors and things like that. And you can see it specifically keeps that same voice and tone of the original content, so you don't lose your voice when you are writing this. And it just elaborated on some of the exact things that it said, why the tones were created, what they are. It gives 3 top lessons learned from this post. It's actually formulated to give you 3 lessons learned. So it's always going to pull out something to make a good lessons from. If you want something with more specific lessons, we also have a 3-point info post so you can have more specific lessons. This is literally if you just want to breeze through and get a whole lot of your content expanded upon in a very short period of time. And then down here, you see it refers to our Painterly portrait course that's here, and it refers to it again here. So that's on a shorter post. Now, someone's saying, well, I got a little something. So what if I got a little something and I just need more? And so this is a longer post that I grabbed from one of my clients' sites. And this one, we're going to do our little word count test here. I'm going to look at word count. You see it's 483 words. So it's not horrible, right? This is not horrible at being 483 words, but we know that Google likes more and you can probably give more information. And so we are going to do that. And so I'm just going to refresh here. And then I'm going to paste this in. This has a total of 6,000 max characters. So while it's meant for shorter posts to make it larger, you can put in more information than you need to, because we just put in, what was it, about 483 words, and it's only taken up 863 characters. So it tells you kind of a little bit of how much it can actually hold in the field. Honestly, it's only going to give you up to 800 to 1,000 words. So if you've already got 800 words, I would not recommend this flow being used for that. But if you only have 100, 200, 300 words, this is the perfect flow for you. So back to our thing. Who is the audience for this post? We're going to put women concerned with health issues. And then what keywords? Again, we're going to leave the keywords blank because most people will leave the keywords blank. And what call to action? And we're going to give this a minute like we did the other one. Each flow can take up to 2 minutes, but generally it's between about 30 seconds to 2 minutes for it to process. Some of the blog flows take a little bit longer than our type flows, only because they're doing more work, right? They're looking at more things, they're writing actual more content, they're counting all these words. So a lot of things are happening behind the scenes here to make you the best content possible. All right, so our minute is up. And it even gives us a little warning here on this one. Since we didn't give it a keyword, it just proceeded without it. If we want something more specific, we can put in that keyword. Right, and so this one actually started, remember the old post, it actually started with this little story here about the old gospel tune, which is nice that this actually kept that piece of the information. Granted, again, this is specifically created to continue with your voice and your style and everything that you would normally do in your own post. And so we'll do a little count check on this one. So we'll do our word count. So this one got us to 657. So it added more, about 200 more words to what was already written. It put them into our lessons learned format that we know that this particular flow is going to give you a nice lessons learned format blog post. And it down here tells you, don't put it off, which is what this is about, but it also gives you your call to action of signing up for a health consult to learn more about the groundbreaking products. So that's what this flow does. It helps you to expand what you've already written. Just like other flows that we have, it gives you some keywords, it gives you some additional subtopics, meta description, and other things that you need to put this onto your site. But this is the best way to use this tool to not only create new content, but also refresh, revamp, redo content that may need more added to it, things that need to be brought up to, what we know search engines are looking for. There's no hard and fast number, but, not say the more the merrier, but the more that makes sense, right? The merrier. So at least having a good 700 to 1,000 words, depending on your subject matter, is always really helpful for your content. So check the links below for how to get into SEO Assist and a couple of those other flows that I mentioned here in this video. Happy creating.